What if I can't afford to save 15% of my income? Is my retirement doomed? That seems to be the percentage most people are shooting for right now. Is I need to save 15% of my income to have a comfortable retirement. Well, let's run some actual numbers, which is what we do on this channel, Million Dollars Made Easy. We run numbers for people. Now, let's just take somebody that's making $60,000 a year. If they were to save 15% of that, go down through here, 15% of that would be $750 a month. What if they can only afford 8%, which would be $400 a month? Well, I went ahead and ran the numbers, putting in $400 a month, increasing that by 3% a year, just to see where you might be. Again, what we do on this channel is use the actual historical returns to the S&P 500 for the last 100 years, and we simply project ahead what similar returns might do for you in the future. And the resulting numbers give us a possible range of what may happen. And here's the actual range, $400 a month, increasing that by 3% a year. If we look for every single 35-year period, say somebody's 30, 32 years old, so I can't afford 15%. I can barely afford 8%, which would be $400 a month because I'm raising my kids. I'm out of house payments, car payments, whatever. These are the actual numbers of what you would have in the future in 35 years. If the numbers were like 1924, you'd have 2.844 million. These are the numbers from 1924. This is a summary box. There's a 2.844. Pick any other year, 1928, you'd have 2.776. 2.776 is right there. But this is the returns if they were like the last 100 years for a 35-year period. These are what they are. And I want you to notice something. In the worst case scenario, this row in the red is the worst case scenario for each of these time periods. You'd have 1.488 million. The median of this column would be 2.225 million. And the highest amount you'd see is 5 million. That's that range we're talking about here. Now, this is the median. What would happen if we take into account inflation? Because obviously 35 years from now, with a 3% inflation rate, these numbers are not going to have the same buying power. This 2.225 million with a buying power of $790,000. That's what you could have if you saved 8% of your income. Let's go up to 10%. Let's go $500 a month, keeping the 3% increase each year. And let's see where you might be after 35 years. Now, in the worst case scenario, again, increasing this to $500 a month, which would be 10% of your income. Worst case scenario, 1.86 million, the median 2.781, and the maximum is 6.265. These are the buying power. This is the buying power of these amounts down here. You can see it's getting to be quite significant here. Can you retire with these amounts? Well, in other videos, we actually go through and look at what you might be able to do if you just had, for example, the 790,000. I went ahead and ran that. If you need $4,500 a month in today's dollars, and you have $790,000 in today's dollars in the future, your money would never run out. Even in the worst case scenario, 100% of the time, you'd still have money left after 20 years and even after 30 years. But that's for other videos. I just wanted to show you these kind of amounts are very comfortable to have a comfortable retirement. But again, we're looking back right here. If I can't save 15%, what would happen if I save 10%? You're making $60,000 a year. That'd be $500 a month. 35 years later, this is the kind of money. Now, if you don't have 35 years, say for example you're 40 years old and you only have 25 years till you retire, then in the worst case scenario, you have 439,000, and in the buying power, it'd only be 209,000. Then you might have to increase it. Let's go up here to $700 a month. 700, which would be 14%. Let's go ahead and update this. Okay, now we're looking at somebody 40, 42 years old and needs to save $700 a month, which would be 14%. But what if we left out here? Somebody that's 40 years old has probably already got some saved up. So let's go back to this $500 a month, which should be 10% of somebody making 60,000, but say they've already got 35,000 saved up. Let's go ahead and update that. That's what we do on this channel. We do run all kinds of different numbers, looking at all kinds of different scenarios. Looks like saving 10% might leave you a little bit short if you only have 25 years till retirement. Worst case scenario, you'd have 749,000. The median in this column is 1.322, but we always like to take into account inflation. if you had the worst case scenario in the next 25 years, you'd have a buying power of 357,000. The median for this right here, the buying power would be 631,000. But that's if you have 35,000. What if you already have 75,000? Again, we're talking about somebody that's 40, 45 years old. Do they really need to save 15% of their income? Let's stay with 10% here. Let's go ahead and update this one. Okay, these are the numbers for somebody, say they're 40, 42 years old. They have 25 years till retirement. They already have 75,000 saved up. They can get by with saving 10% of their income. They don't have to go to 15%. If they're comfortable with worst case scenario, $1 million, median 1.753, these are the buying power amounts again up here. Again, what are we saying? We're saying that 15% rule doesn't necessarily need to be unless you've only got 20, 25 years till retirement and have nothing saved up. Then you probably would have to save 15%. But if you have any kind of time, if you have 30, 35, 40 years and don't have a whole lot saved up, but can save just maybe $400 a month. Let's do this one more time here. Let's say you just got 20,000 saved up. You're 25, 30 years old. You've got 35 or 40 years. Let's go ahead and update this. Again, this is 8% of somebody making 60,000. Again, folks, somebody that's got 35 years until retirement, look at this. They already have 20,000 saved, say they're 30, 32 years old, and they can save just 8%. That's 8% of somebody making 60,000 is $400 a month. Look at the kind of numbers you can have after 35 years. Worst case scenario, 2 million. Median, 3 million. Best case scenario, over 6 million. These are the buying power amounts. You'd be over a millionaire with the median, using the median 3 million, and have the buying power of over $1 million. Do you have to save 15%? If you have the time, you don't need to save near 15%. We're just running the numbers at 8%. We're running numbers for somebody making 60,000. If we raise this to like 80,000, let's just do that real quick. 80,000. Saving that same $400, that's only 6% of your income. Do you really need to save 15% of your income to have a comfortable retirement? Looks to me like if you've got the time and you can put in even 6 to 8%, making 60 to 80,000, these are the kind of numbers you're looking at, folks. Just $400 a month. If you already have 20,000. Again, we'll change any of these numbers you want. I just want to show you, you don't need to save 15%. That makes it impossible for some people, and they basically just give up when you don't have to do that. When you see what even 8% of your income, or if you're making 80,000, that's only 6% of your income. These numbers over a 35-year period, these are the kind of amounts you look forward to. But that's what we do on this channel. We love running numbers for people. Please consider subscribing to this channel. Please share it with others. Let people know there's a channel out there that'll run numbers. Just maybe help them to see where they might be and not to get frustrated that I can't save 15%. In many cases, if you have the time and you have any kind of savings at all, you can get by with 6 or 8%, depending on what your income is, of course. But thanks so much for watching. Please share this with other people.